Alright, I think we're close enough. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I'm Adam. I'm one of the engine support techs up at Epic Games. So, when you were talking in the Answer Hub in the forums and you talk to a staff member, typically that's going to be one of us. So, my specialization on the team is blueprints, though I do landscapes, foliage, BSPs, some materials. Uh, Actually starting to teach myself C++, but I can't really help you on that right now, though I'll try. If you have any questions during the stream, that is what this stream is for, is answering questions. So please post them into chat and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. In the meantime, we typically work on tutorials or prototypes or just random things that I thought might be cool. Today we actually had a question come in on Twitter from Motorsep, and that's kind of what we're going to be working on. If anyone has questions in the meantime, please feel free to post them and I will try to get to them as quickly as possible. You will also notice, and this is going to be the only time I mention it on stream, that I have given in to your demands. I did. And so if you look on the Twitch page now, I do have a donate button. You are not required to use it ever. Anything that happens is greatly appreciated. If you don't donate anything at all, it's greatly appreciated because you're here, and that's what matters. But I wanted to go ahead and, since it's been asked for very, 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 very often, uh, I wanted to go ahead and open that up so that it was available. I hope I set it up right. Also, I have set up an overlay on Stream Pro, but I'm having trouble getting it to be recognized by OBS right now. So I'm going to have to put that off today, and we will try to get that working. It's right now just pretty simple, going to show if people donate that it'll show up on screen. If people subscribe, or if people follow, it'll show up on screen. Nothing special. I don't need anything fancy. I mean, it's not like we're, playing Call of Duty or, Battlefield or League or something where everything needs to be super fancy. I'd much rather you guys focus on the development. Um, but if you guys disagree with me on that, please feel free to tell me why I'm wrong. Anyways, the question we had from Motorsep, and like I said, that's the last time I'm going to mention any of that whatsoever unless something changes. So, yeah. Though I will, of course, if I see something come in, then I will thank that person who sent in the thing, because that's appropriate. Anyways, okay, so Motorsep, let me pull up my Twitter page here. And let's see what the question was, because I don't quite remember. Here we go. Okay, so we are on Twitter now. Indie game. Okay, right here. So, let's see. Question was right here. Here's the situation. I am thinking of building my level using some same static meshes, same full rock for caves, scaled to different size, position rotated differently, same floor wall pieces to cover certain areas, placed manually on the level, sort of modular level design, but mostly manual placement, then procedural generation. Place n number of columns, tile them x times by x-axis, axis offset. Okay, the goal is to squeeze out as much performance as possible using hierarchical instance static mesh components and HLOD to reduce the number of draw calls using some geometry material. Perhaps it would be better to start off with instance meshes and regular LODs. Let's see, covered in the tutorials and docs. Awesome. Okay, so, hey, Bloody Bobby. And hey, Katatis, thank you both for being here today. Awesome. Um, Now, let's see what is going on. So you were asking about instanced meshes. Now, instance meshes are wonderful. They are one of the most useful things that I have found for blocking out levels, for populating and stuff like that, and to reduce the amount of draw calls that you have because it is all pretty much the same. Now, there are a couple of gotchas that I want to go ahead and make very, 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 very clear right off the beginning because a lot of people don't know this going into it, and then it causes all sorts of problems when they think, hey, why isn't this working? So, the thing about instance meshes and hierarchical instance meshes is they are meant to be placed in editor. They are meant to be placed in the construction script, and it is not used to break out into blueprint classes and spawning actors and stuff. The reason I'm telling you this is because it needs to be baked. It is static. It is not movable. Once the game is going, don't move them. Don't Don't do, all try to do all kinds of crazy stuff messing with the instance meshes, because technically they are all one mesh. They're not actually independent of one another. It's considered all one actor. So when you try to move specific ones, now there are instances, like you could technically destroy and recreate them, by doing moving them and scaling them. But the thing is they're not built for that. It's not the intended functionality. So when you do that, it ends up actually being more of a performance hit than it does a performance gain. So it is better for these types of things to be a one and done. Once they're placed, leave them alone. Now, of course, you could use them for things like if you're wanting to do a modular level design and you want it to spawn different chunks or something like that. Spawn them in the first time, boom, don't touch them again. Simple as that. Yeah, exactly. Katatis said instant static meshes are like photographs. That is a perfect example. You don't want to continue moving them afterwards. They're not like Harry Potter photographs where they keep moving. You take the picture and you're done with the picture, unless you decide to take it into Photoshop. But that's materials, which you can do. You can mess with the materials, but that's a completely different issue and not one that we're going to get into today. Now, the LOD thing, I think I understand how to do the LODs, but I'm not going to promise that, so if I end up completely screwing the pooch on that one, I'm sorry. That's what we're going to work on. And I want to make it a little fun. I want to show off a little bit of how math can be used to make this more interesting. Because, frankly, I'm bored. So, here we are in our side scroller template, which for those of you who were here before know that this is a rather hot mess of silly little things that we did. So right here we got these things we can pick up. We've got items that we can attach, like my little hat here. You can jump in here and it spawns us back. We got what I called a wand. It's actually just a stick. And over here is a nice little door. And it goes out here. Now out here is nothing. Weirdest thing I said on street. What is the weirdest thing I said on? Oh, screw the pooch. Hey, Jackie. Hey, long time no see, man. Screw the pooch is a common expression. I don't know why I wouldn't say it. Okay, so we're gonna call this HISMC stuff. Okay, that's gonna be the name of our actor. And what we're going to do, we're going to immediately go to the construction script because we don't even need to touch this unless you want some functionality that has absolutely nothing to do with the instant static meshes. Like I said, don't do it. Go with the hierarchical meshes. I actually personally don't know what the difference between hierarchical instance meshes and regular instance static meshes is. I will be honest about that now. I have no fucking clue. I've used both, and I typically use them very interchangeably because I have never known what the difference is. Let's see if there is. Let's see. A component that efficiently renders multiple instances of the same static mesh, and hierarchical instance static mesh component, which tells me nothing. Let's see. Maybe it's... Nope. Okay, so trash those. The instance mesh we're going to use is going to be the cylinder. Very nice, I know. And I'm going to need a couple of variables for what we're going to do. Because what I want to do, and hopefully it will work, is I want to spawn these in a circle. Which, is fun. And it's a little more challenging than spawning them in a straight line. So, we're going to call this, let's see, radius. And that's going to be a float. And we're going to make all of these editable. Initial location. Expose. Boom. And then we need the angle. Float. Editable. Okay. let's go with okay. So we want to do a while loop. Angle is less than 360. Loop body. Let's see. Add instance. Split struct pin. And we're going to split this. So what we're doing now is, as long as the angle is less than 360 degrees, we are going to add an instance. Once it's done, we're going to print string finished. Okay, very simple, I know. I like it that way. So let's see what the math is going to be. If I remember correctly, we need to get the original location. The original x. See, it's the original x plus, and I'm sorry, I'm going through this pretty fresh. I'm not good at math, so times angle, oops, I think it's the cosine radians. That's going to be the x. Hey Motorcep, we're working on your issue right now. Let's see, so we got the initial x plus, get the radius times the angle of the cosine of the angle, which will be x. Then we're going to do y plus the radius times the sine of the angle in radians. And I'm hoping this works, otherwise it's going to look very silly. And we're going to maintain the z location of the initial location. Once all of this is done, we're going to do set angle to get angle plus 45. Yeah. We'll do angle plus angle increase. Pile. Hopefully this does not crash on me. Oh, no, we literally just kind of started about 5 or 10 minutes ago on this, so you didn't miss very much at all. And I may have crashed the editor already. Woo! Starting off strong. Alright, well, we'll just give this a minute. No, so what I was telling them, Motorcep, just as kind of a recap while I'm waiting on this, is the way hierarchical instance meshes work is that once you set them, you don't want to move them because they are supposed to be static. They are supposed to be baked. So you want to do pretty much almost, if not all, of your instance static mesh work inside of the construction script and set it that way. That way, when you actually play an editor, they're not being used dynamically. The reason for this is simply because all